The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We're laughing because we're joined by comedic legend and friend of the show.
Oh, he's such a good guy.
K. Amos.
Stephen.
And he's just telling us stories from the jungle because, of course, you're on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me
Not
Out of
things we
Here.
can share.
Of course, we cannot share.
Yes.
No.
But let's talk about
Oh,
something we
what's that?
can share. Let's talk about one thing we can share.
Are you just playing a Wimba Wumba?
Yes.
Well, that's a bit
Because
insensitive.
in the jungle.
A bit racist, Harry.
I'm not in the jungle now, you know. Well, that's really funny, though. Actually, when I arrived back, I've been in the country for like 2.5 weeks. My ego was kind of, I thought, oh my God, I've been on TV every night of the week in Australia. Everyone's going to know who I am. So I arrived at Brisbane Airport.
Yeah.
And, you fill out those landing cards.
Yeah.
And he was going, so where have you just come from, sir? And I went, the jungle. And he went, don't be silly, mate. Now, where have you come from?
I'm a household name.
I know.
I do like the fact that you underwent a transformation in the jungle, though, because you learned to swim. How did you never learn to even float before?
This is a question that's come up time and time again. I live in London and I have no reason to swim.
Yeah,
I don't
I
live
suppose
near
so.
the sea.
Yeah.
I live
But
in
you
the
travel
city.
a lot.
I travel a lot, and I don't think the plane's going to crash in water. I'm very positive now.
Statistically, it probably is.
Well, don't tell me that now.
So how does it feel to be able to swim now? Barely, I'm guessing.
So Ellie Cole, a Paralympian, she taught you.
Ellie Cole,
Yeah.
legend. Now, the
Yeah.
thing is, I think that taught, myself and hopefully other people a lesson. If you're in a situation where there's nothing to do,
Yes.
you've got no access to technology and decent food,
Yes.
and you're with a Paralympian gold medalist,
Yeah.
Yes.
17 medals, and she says, you can't swim, I'll teach you how to swim, you'd be a fool to say no, right?
Yes.
100%.
And I never thought I would be picking up a hobby at my age.
Yeah.
I'm content.
Yes.
But it was life-changing.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
amazing.
David,
Well
is
done.
everyone in your family, like you're one of 7, mate. So
Yeah.
the whole family, all the kids, not swimmers, or it was just you?
To be honest, I haven't checked with them all. I can only speak for myself.
They haven't mentioned it.
Because when we were kids, we used to in the primary school, we were taken to a swimming bath to be shown how to swim. But it was like a class of 35 kids. The teachers weren't really paying attention.
So you
and
never
in
got
those
in?
days, I got it. No, I wasn't that good. Where's Stephen? He's definitely got in. No, I got in, but I would just walk along the bottom and just kick my legs up.
and then pretend you were
And then
swimming on
pretend
top.
I was swimming.
Did you really?
Yeah, and I got my 10-yard swimming certificate. That's what they did. back
Yeah,
then.
that's what, they used to give a swimming certificate, and then we
Yeah.
go, what are you up to? And
Yeah,
okay.
like that. And then the next certificate you got after that, you had to they threw you in the water fully clothed, and they see how you can. And I didn't even get in the water then.
Yeah, I'm not ruining a
just
perfectly good
I
outfit.
was fully clothed and just sat on the back. I've survived, but you're dry, Stephen. Well,
Yeah,
shallow.
Do you think you can swim now?
I'm very confident to be able to floating, for example.
Yes.
I did honestly have a fear of water. When I say water, I mean the expanse.
Yeah.
There's
Yes.
nothing total.
Yes.
I can have a shower. I'm not an idiot. I can walk out.
You are English, so
I can walk out in the rain. What's happening? But when there's nothing to hold on to, and,
Yes.
you just feel out of your depth. But when I got comfortable, this is all down to Ellie Cole. Just to know your body can do so many amazing things
Yeah.
for you.
Yes. Yeah.
Like the breathing helps you float. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But now if you were to fall into a body of water that your feet couldn't touch the bottom
Yeah.
of, will you survive?
I will survive by keeping calm.
Yeah.
Right, the first thing, and I would float on my back.
Yeah.
Love it on my back.
And hopefully float to the shore.
And but swim.
Oh,
Are
you
gonna-
can
oh, so
propel.
you're gonna do,
Yes.
Imagine a rich lady in a pool.
Yes.
And she's laying back and she's slowly just drifting her hands back and forth.
Yes.
That's how he swims.
But it was incredible because I did a show in Sydney over the weekend, and after the show, a young lady came up to me and said, "Oh, my dad's in the audience. He loved your show tonight. You know what he did this morning?" I said, "No, what did you?" He said he took his first ever swimming lesson just because of you.
Oh,
You've inspired
Stephen.
people.
Yeah,
That's
and
amazing.
yeah, he was probably about my age, and I
Yeah.
was just like, I wouldn't have ever considered it. And I think that's one of the things with this show. I was really hoping that we'd be able to talk about certain sort of subjects, maybe some that are quite sensitive
yes.
or whatever, and get really
Have
in
deep
depth. I spoke to
philosophical-
Callum, for example,
Yeah.
about the history of South Africa
Yes.
and apartheid, and the fact that 35 years ago I wouldn't be in that show.
No.
And Callum, that generation, perhaps, I don't know, can't speak for all of them, he didn't know anything about apartheid.
Oh, my
Wow.
God.
Or
Nelson
who
Mandela,
Nelson Mandela was.
He's been to a party or two. He was like, I don't see the
Steve,
problem.
why'd you go on the show in the first place?
I tell you, that's a really good question.
all I got.
I think when I was here...
Well done, Sean.
Take the day off.
See you next week.
Take the day off. No, for me, it was the pandemic.
Right,
The
eh?
pandemic happened when the world stopped to everybody.
Yeah.
I was here in Australia about to do a massive tour, and I was back in London. And as I say, the first couple of weeks, I loved it, but it did give me a chance to reflect and think about what I wanted to do with my life, and think that, you know what, I can do so much more. I just keep doing this routine of stand-up, And so, as post-pandemic, I did a play outside in the West End. I did a West End musical. I think I told you about that last year. My Fair Lady.
Yeah.
And then I never thought I'd do reality at all.
Yeah.
Because being in a situation where you're not in control of your edit
Yes.
Oh, of
is
course.
like
Yes.
just giving yourself up.
Well, especially with people that have an established career. I always say reality TV is something for people that have nothing to lose.
Yes, or they need the redemption arc.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's why when they asked me, I was like, they've asked me for a couple of reasons. I thought I'd be there for a week or two.
Yeah.
The first person voted out because comedy people know who I am. But outside of comedy, that's a real big, wide world.
Yes.
And I'm not really a reality TV person. And also, because I do jokes and comedy, people assume I'm funny 24/7.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
Yep.
Because that would be so
Yeah,
insufferable.
you do take 10
I
minutes
mean,
off.
imagine that
It's-
person. Imagine it.
There were people in there. I'm not, you know what I mean? And it's just like, and one of them asked me early days in the jungle, "Oh, are you on?" I'm like, "No, this is me. I'm not on. I'm not," because I could not.
So they were like, are you switching yourself on for the camera now?
And I said no. And there is a way to and a way to perform in reality TV that it's its own beast. And
But this, I was telling you earlier, Stephen, this is the thing that people don't realise, right? So when I was in Big Brother, that was 2002. The only other reality show at that time was, I think, Australian Idol. And now...
And it was only the second series of Big Brother,
Yeah,
so it was still a fresh concept.
So, but this whole generation has been brought up with reality TV. So the one thing that was touted when we were contestants was none of you have media training. And we didn't even know what the words media training was.
Instagram and those things weren't a
Nothing,
thing.
nothing.
No.
But now they've all been coached by just watching their feeds on Instagram, on TikTok. I mean, look at the TikTok stuff that
and
some
the way
kids
that
are
the
doing.
producers are producing them as well is heightened as well.
Even look at the way that if you look at your kids' Instagram feeds or their photos, they self-edit. They know they produce their lives.
Absolutely incredible.
So they're ready.
Yeah, they are so ready, and it's something I didn't think of, guys, when I went in, which I'm glad at because it just
Yes.
showed me for who I was.
Yes.
That young, like my brothers and sisters have got young kids who are a dab hand at iPads and iPhone by the age of 3. Right,
Yeah.
and the attention span, the quickness, the TikTok is a perfect example.
Yes.
Like, for example, going into a show like this where there's those moments where you speak to the camera, you know,
Yes.
if you have
confessionals,
not,
yes.
those confessionals, you know exactly how long you've got, you know what they want,
Yep.
and
Yes.
you can throw snippets in there.
Yes.
Whereas, for example, I would go in and go, "Oh, and another thing happened on the way. What happened?" You know, and they're like, "Oh, we can't find edit point." Where
Yes.
somebody else would go in there and go,
Yeah.
"Oh, there's a rat."
Yes,
and
just
then
the
that
basic
goes off.
soundbite, yeah.
Did you
I
change at
don't
any
believe there was a
stage
rat,
doing
by the
that?
way.
Did you think, okay, I'm going to make them shorter, or no, I'm going to stick to what I'm putting out, which is just myself?
The problem was you have no idea what they're putting out or how you're being
No.
perceived,
Yeah,
right? So you've got two options. Either stick to your guns
Yep.
or you do a 360 and then
Yeah.
you present yourself as somebody else. And I think that's even worse.
Yeah, good
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I just... the first couple of episodes, I was just sussing people out, you know?
Yes, of
But
course.
some of the others,
Because
within
most
3
of them would have
days...
been unknown to you.
I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
I met Tristan before because I
Yes.
did the morning
knew
show.
Malcolm in the Middle, didn't you?
Yeah, only I didn't know him personally, but I was just like, "Oh my god!" Because it is one of my favourite sitcoms. I really picked him up. How awkward would that have been?
Stephen, was he tiny?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you imagine?
They're all any American TV show or movie star when they come over. Toby Maguire, when I met him, you can't be Spider-Man. You are to my waist. It is insane.
We've got Stephen K. Amos with us.
In the house,
and
in
you
the
just
house.
hinted you're
Yeah.
starring in a movie.
Well, do you know, I've got my...
Starring?
Again, it was one of the...
Yes, sir.
when I've been to a movie theatre. No, I was saying earlier about me trying to do different things.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got a little part in my first movie, and it's not OnlyFans. It's it's a sequel to a very, very popular 1980s
Okay, let's guess.
comedy horror film.
Comedy
Evil
horror.
What?
Evil Dead? Something
No.
Like that. Am I in the
Ghostbusters.
rain?
No.
Comedy horror.
Comedy horror.
Freddy Krueger.
No, that was just horror.
That was just horror.
1980s, did you say?
1980s.
Comedy
Think late 80s.
horror.
Really famous director.
Where's no, not Wes.
No.
No.
I can't say it three times.
Beetlejuice.
Oh, yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Don't say it
Don't
again.
go.
Don't say it again. No.
That's really interesting. So,
Yes.
Winona Ryder, yes,
Yeah.
she's in it.
Yeah.
So it's so Gina Davis no longer in it.
She's not in it, no.
Okay, so it follows Winona, and it would be Winona's children.
Yeah.
How exciting! Because Winona had a big resurgence off of the
Yes.
success of Stranger Things.
Yes. And she was
So
lovely.
good.
I met her on set.
Did you?
And she was like, oh my
I
God,
love her.
Stephen Amos, the comedian. You're so funny. Let's exchange information. We can be friends.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh
I've
my
not-
God!
I've
Did
not
you go?
heard from
Oh
her.
my God! You too. I loved it. I loved it when you went shoplifting. Remember when
No,
she
I
went
didn't say that.
No,
No.
remember when she went shoplifting?
Yeah,
that's the biggest
No, but
thing.
like it didn't
not
make me
talking
dislike her.
about-
I loved her. I loved her. It's like, oh,
Leave
Winona
her
Ryder
alone.
shop life. That's great.
Leave her alone.
Yeah.
I'm
No, I
still
love
waiting
her.
to hear from her.
Really? Have you sent her a text?
Yes.
What'd you
God,
say?
It's me.
And did she not
Hello?
respond? Did she read it? Was it delivered?
Have you
Did
been
she-
left
did it
on
read?
red?
Yeah.
You know why?
It doesn't
No,
hurt
she won't
that
answer. She thinks it's a Nigerian scammer.
Let it go. Let it go.
Oh my God!
So
how-
what's your part in it?
Yeah.
What, can you tell us about the role?
Yes. Well, I'm not. I can't tell you the roles
You're a
specifically,
ghost.
but yes.
Yes, you're a- yeah.
But it's a really, really elaborate scene, and it's really fun.
Oh, really?
That's so cool.
When you think about Tim Burton and his
Yes,
mind,
yes.
it's just like, yeah.
And
That's so
remember what it looked like to us. It was a visual treat. Now, if you look at Beetlejuice, I mean,
You go, oh my
their
God,
effects were so terrible. What they could do with it now will be amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And Michael Keaton back reprising the
good.
role. Wow.
That's amazing.
So you filmed this, Stephen?
Yeah,
already?
it's done.
When's it come out?
I think it's coming out in Australia anyway. I think September, I read
Cool.
somewhere. The reason why I'm mentioning it now with such grandiose confidence is that I got an email at the top of the year asking me of my correct spelling of my name for the credits.
Oh, so you haven't been cut.
Can you imagine? I've been there before.
That is
I've
so
done a
funny.
whole series in the UK, and I told all my friends. I even discarded a few friends. You are dead to me. I don't want to see you again. And of course, the series was canned, and I didn't. And I was like, oh.
What was that series about?
Oh, it was about. It was like a game show, and it was called A Mob Rule.
Yeah.
And it was basically. It's like a question and answer. So we have contestants,
Yeah.
and then we'd ask 100 people
Oh, the
what
100.
their opinions of something,
Yeah.
and then you'd have to guess what.
That's Andy
percentage.
Lee does it here. It's the
There's a
100.
show called The 100.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is it? Which
Exactly
is Mob
that.
Rule. Yep.
Oh, right, okay. Who does it?
Andy Lee.
Oh, I got Andy Lee.
Hamish and Andy?
Oh, I like
Yeah.
those.
Yeah. It's a big success here.
And they said it was the host that really pulled it through. It was going to be
It
chopped.
does,
but-
yeah. With the right host, that's
Right.
really
With the right
soar.
host, they'll do anything.
Oh, my God. Wow. What if I didn't come in this morning?
Yeah, exactly. Well, your confidence would be sky high.
I know.
So, Stephen, thanks for coming in.
Oh,
It's been a joy to have you.
Oh, the joy's all been yours.
You can see Stephen's show, Oxymoron, Friday at the Rechabite Hall in Northbridge, Saturday at the Regal Theatre. Tickets from StephenKAmos.com. And you're hosting the gala tonight as well.
I was in the gala tonight. I'm
Yes.
very excited about being here this morning. Got to say, following the Prime Minister. I mean,
yeah.
that's something.
He's on the, we
names.
can't get him off the show.
Great names.
And of course, Will.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
wow. I mean, who next?
I don't really think there's much on for the rest of the week.
Not surprised. You spent your budget.
Is that basically it for the big guests? Yeah. Okay.
Your big stars. We ended it perfectly on a Wednesday.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And what do I get?
Oh,
As a
yeah, you have
going
to
away
give him
gift.
something, Nathan.
Come on, Nate. I
Oh,
always
what about
need
one
you
of
or
your hats?
something.
Because
You bought
you've bought 32
I'll
hats.
find
Oh, it's got hats.
Come
Okay.
back after the news. I'll find you.
Okay, all right.
we'll go
We'll
to
just
the
go through our stuff and see what we've got. Stephen K. Amos is still with us.
Yes.
And we're now attacking him
leaving.
about lasagna.
No, well, we just asked him because we've been asking the question, you know,
All week.
which is, what is it, Wednesday? If about functioning adults who have never made a lasagna, we don't think you can trust them.
I beg to differ. I have made a lasagna many times.
No, you haven't.
By putting a nice pre-made one in the oven.
That's not making a lasagna.
That's not making. That's heating lasagna.
But we have learned that you've made bolognese sauces, which is
Many times.
we have to do the layer thing, and it's
Who wants to layer? I haven't got time to layer. I'm a busy man with a life to lead.
That's right. That's
I
how-
can
that's-
boil pasta and make bolognese.
And if you do live his life and don't waste your time making lasagnas, that's how you and Winona Rhoda films from. That's how and we're not. All right, so
You wanted a present because traditionally we give you a
Another
present.
question: as a grown adult in the shower, do you wash your feet?
Yes.
yeah.
no.
Boom. That's a good one, isn't it? How creepy is that?
Yeah.
The amount of people who do not wash their
Do you
don't wash
just
my
assume
feet.
that the soap and water and stuff is going to wash your feet while you're standing there? Is that what you assume?
I guess I have, but I'm
you
always
go
in the
barefoot
ocean
in places,
as
yeah.
well. So my feet. Does everyone in this room? Sorry, can I ask? Do you wash your feet?
Yeah, and it's an effort because that's a long way down.
Yeah. Here, I do.
Harry,
No,
Of
not
course,
usually.
Harry's not going to.
Sam,
Sometimes.
Amy,
You don't.
Yeah, I scrub them with the
the loofah.
and the scour. You know.
Yeah.
I don't go that serious. It's not
I was
not serving them
stunned.
food.
Stunned. I was stunned when I found out people don't wash their feet.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's a thing.
Can you start, please?
I mean, no offence, but pooh-wee.
All right, so you wanted something?
Yes,
Because usually you
please.
take something that I've ordered on the internet. Nothing's
Yes.
come through.
Oh,
Would you like the right hand or the left hand?
Oh, right. Are you right-handed?
No, I'm left-handed.
Right hand then.
The right hand. Okay, this has been with us since 2008.
I don't like the sound of that.
This is
Oh.
actually, Sean isn't even part of this because it's before Sean. This is the Nova 937 Nathan and Nat's Worst Handball Player for 2008 award. And that goes to Stephen K. Amos.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Did you want to see what the other hand had?
Yeah.
That is the plush toy of syphilis.
Oh.
But I think you've got the real thing, so the trophy's better.
I would, to be honest, I'd feel really bad taking this out of the studio.
No, because it's too heavy and it'll make your luggage go over.
Exactly. I'm
No,
not
it's got a bit of
paying
weight
the
there.
excess.
Exactly.
you-
Trophies were
Are
worth
you
something.
refusing our gift?
I'm giving it back.
No.
Well,
Excuse
okay,
me,
take the
Anthony
syphilis.
Albanese.
Take the syphilis.
Anthony Albanese, the Prime Minister, has got our photos on the mantle of the lodge.
Is that because he hasn't got a dartboard?
No. Wow. Close personal
world
friends can
leaders.
have you deported.
Yeah.
I think you need to take it home and then show us a photo of it.
Or take the syphilis, your call.
Oh, he's got the syphilis. Yeah, there it is.
Go and see Stephen K. Amos in his show,
Why wouldn't you?
Oxymoron,
Yeah.
Friday night at Recordbite Hall, Regal Theatre Saturday.
BYO syphilis.
StephenKAmos.com for all your tickets. It's always a joy. Thank you so much for
Thanks,
having me,
guys.
Stephen.
Have a lovely
you.
day.
Sorry about that all, racial stereotyping. Could have sworn you're from
Which is a
Jamaica.
great drag name, don't you think? Rachel Stereotype.
That's hilarious.
Thank you.
Hello, boss.
Hello, guys. Hey, Steve.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thanks. It's always a roller coaster with them, isn't it? You never
I know.
lasagna,
I know.
feet.
But it's one of those roller coasters where a bird smacks you in the face.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
We are talking about people that lie about their height.
We
Inspired by Bronny James, who has been telling everybody for years he's 6'4". Turns out this is LeBron James kid. Turns out he's 6'1".
We just did a
6'1",
little
mate,
line
come
up
on.
here in the studio with everyone because
Yeah.
our boss Dave thinks he's 175 centimetres. Put it up next to Sean. Sean, you are.
I'm 180.
And
I've been measured
it
1,000
does not look
times
like
over.
you are.
I'm more than 5 centimetres
You're
taller
more,
than Dave.
yes.
Yeah.
And then Ali thinks that he's lying about his age too.
His age?
Not his age.
no, sorry, his height. His
And
height.
his
sorry.
age.
No, he's definitely 80.
That's what we're talking about. Here's Jody in Southern River. Morning, Jody.
Morning.
Hi, Jody.
Who's been lying about their height, Jody?
Well, I've been on 2 dates with guys that I've met on dating apps, and they've both claimed to be about 5'10", and when I've met them, we've been the same height.
And what
how-
are
I'm
you?
5'5".
Yeah.
So,
Do you bring it up, Joe, straight away? Because that's a big ruse.
One of them I did.
Yes.
Because kind of seen them another time, and I got a tape measure out, and I measured. I was like, no, we're the same height.
You pulled out a tape measure. Well, because she'd been stung before, so she went, okay, I'm going prepared this time.
Nathan, can you bring out a tape
You know
measure
what
to
they
somebody?
say?
You can. No, you can. Because if you're going to go there, because you know what? If you're going to lie about your height, prepare to be measured.
I think remember the adage: measure twice, cut once.
Yeah, exactly. So, Jody, would you have been put off this guy if you knew his correct height?
No, I wouldn't have. I'd just be honest with you.
Yes.
Don't lie about it.
But also, they don't have to enter their height on their profile, do they?
Oh, but then they're
I
hiding something.
don't. I never do.
That means they can't reach the keys to put it in. nah, good job. Let's trust that.
Thanks, Jody. John's in Rockingham. Hello.
Hey guys, how you going?
Good, John.
Who lied about their height, John?
A friend of mine's dad, when he joined the police in WA, there used to be a height requirement. He was a few centimetres short and used to stuff yellow pages in his shoes.
Well, like,
Best use of the yellow pages ever.
He must have been amazed when insoles came out.
Heel lifts or
He made
something.
a 30-year career out of it.
30 careers standing on the success of the yellow pages.
yeah, that's right. I mean,
Lasted longer than what they did.
he would have been screwed if he had to, like, measure
Do
any
it
socks.
now. Now. There's no one's got phone books.
That's a
No.
great point.
How would he do it?
Yeah.
Oh, that is so fun. And back in the day as well, they didn't check things as much.
No, that's right.
You know
No,
what
they
I mean?
just went
Well,
with
now
it.
you wouldn't be able to get away
And
with
they just trusted them.
They don't have. I mean, that dropped out a few years ago, didn't it? The height factor in the old cops.
Yeah,
we
because
think
you know
so.
why? Because it's good to have tiny police. They can get in the nook and crannies
That's right.
of crime.
That's right. They're good for the mounted police section because they're like jockeys.
They're amazing. And then the really tall police, they can get crimes off tall shelves.
All right. Thank you to both John and Jody. You're both in the running for Nova's 10K a day in May.
Yeah.
We've got a $150 voucher to spend at Kui Restaurant. Come to Kui, celebrate with spectacular views. You know where it is. It's amazing.
I got an idea. Why don't we give it to Jody, right? Because then Jody can take a date there, and then she can whack out the tape measure and measure him. Which I'm sorry.
I don't think you can
you
travel
can.
with a tape measure.
You can. No, you can if you have been burnt
We
by
have
someone,
handbags.
Sean. No. How are you going to say this guy goes, no, yeah, I am. Like, you're not whatever.
Well, you know what
yeah,
height
I
you
am.
are.
Well, no, you're not. Yeah, I am. Well, let's check then. Well, because you're just going to be going back and forth.
And you
Let's
don't
end
want a
it.
relationship that's founded on lies, Sean.
Yeah. Or go to a Subway store and just stack up some footlongs next to him. Give me 5.5 footlongs. Let's check this.
Why do you always go to Subway on your first date? No reason.
Now lie down. I'd like to order some meatballs with Old English cheese.
Jody's gonna
Jody,
love
good luck with
Kui.
that.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Gruen's back tonight, everybody,
Yes,
on
yes.
ABC.
16 seasons.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it? 8:30, of course. Plus, he's come to town this weekend doing shows at the Astor Theatre Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
He's going to be on Taskmaster Australia.
He put out the
which-
bins last night.
Which kicks off next Thursday. He's basically got 4 billion podcasts. He's a man who does it all. Will Anderson, good morning.
Good morning. I'm very tired from hearing that introduction.
I know.
to be honest.
God, Will, you're
Feels
busy.
like
I
I've got
forgot.
a lot on.
I forgot writer because you wrote a book as well.
I did write a book. Question Everything's back at the end of the year as well. We announced that the other day, so it's very busy old year. But the good news is I'm in Perth this weekend, and we added what is turning out to be an unnecessary Friday show. So if you want good tickets, Friday, come on down.
Well,
yeah.
You
Why
never
would
come
you?
over here early enough to come into the studio. It's been a decade since
Yes.
you've been in here, mate. Starting to get to
I
me.
know. Well, I mean, normally this is the problem with the Perth trip, right? Because I'd love to come in and, obviously come and see you in person.
Then
And
flying
normally-
on Thursday. Then.
That's an answer, Nath.
Yeah. Well, but here's the problem. Sorry, we don't all have free Thursdays. I've got a gig on Thursday night in Sydney, don't I?
Or then cancel the gig, or put that in play next time.
Yeah.
I feel like we're an afterthought. You know, we're the person that was always waiting for the date, but we never quite get one. You always go, oh no, I will have a chance to get a coffee with you later.
Is it because that time you did come into the studio, we made you do surgery on Sean's finger? Is
Well, that
it
was
because
a long-
of that?
See?
I mean, it might have been because of that. I mean, at least normally I'm talking to you on a screen through a microphone.
Yes.
Today I'm actually on a phone, so I think next time it's going to be a tin can on a bit of string. So we might be really easing back from this.
I mean, we do love the fact that Gruen back. It's, you know, the runs are on the board. Everybody knows what a great show it is. But when I found out that you were going to be on Taskmaster Australia, I'm like, hang on a minute. I know you are a big fan of the format.
Yeah.
So
I thought you were too big a name to be on it.
Oh, well, I mean, that is a very lovely thing of you to say, I guess.
Yeah.
But, no, I just like the show. I mean, I thought it would be a fun thing to do. I've never done anybody else's show either. I've never, like, in my TV career, I've never been, like, a cast member on somebody else's project. They've always been my projects. And so I thought, you know, that's probably something that I would like to have tried in my career before... before it all wraps up.
And I suppose doing a TV show too, Will, would be foreign for you to rock up and all the pressure not be on you for, you know?
I mean, the most amazing thing about this show is you do 5 days in New Zealand filming all the tasks. You do about 10 tasks a day, you know, like, say, 5 days, 10 tasks a day that you're filming. Then they do 10 episodes of the studio episodes where you're watching it all back, you know, for the very first time. That's all done in 5 days. So my total time working on this show has been 10 days, and they've made 10 weeks of shows.
amazing.
And that's why I can't come to Perth earlier.
we make 10 weeks of Gruen. It takes me 5 months.
Hey, Will, Nat was saying 16 seasons, or did you know? Oh, anyway.
No, it was you.
Well, probably concussion can be a big thing. But I was checking out on your Twitter, so that's 16 years of that. You were doing breakfast radio how many years ago, which blew me away?
20. So this year, this is the 20th anniversary of Adam and I leaving. So so end of this year, 20 years since we left Triple J.
God, so we left. We had sort of just high-fived on the way in.
We started not long before you left.
Yeah. Why didn't you tell us what we were in for? You could have saved us 20 years, mate. You're a bit of an arsehole for that. hey, I was on your Instagram. I'm always interested. I know that we've got so many of your things we could be plugging, but I'm interested in a podcast you're listening to, The Unexplained Explained. Is it good? Will, are you there?
Oh,
Gee,
cut
pushing
out.
real hard. We were pushing too hard, didn't we?
Will, can you hear
That's a really good... That sounds good just off the top of your...
I know.
Off the top of
The
your head.
Unexplained Explained.
Didn't we have something that we solved the other day?
What?
It wasn't just the water karting thing, was it?
What are you talking about?
Because that was an explained moment of our own.
Oh, here we go. Wait,
Okay, pick him up.
Back.
Will, you there?
Hey, Will. Will?
Will, can you hear me?
Hello, Will.
You're back
Yeah, we
again.
got you.
Nathan thought he drove you away with a really confronting question about your Instagram feed.
Yeah. Hey.
What did you ask me? What was the confronting question?
I don't know whether it's confronting. We'll see if you hang up again. All right, so I was going through your Instagram and I found you've had a couple of references to a podcast, The Unexplained Explained. Is it really good?
The Unexplained Explained, yeah. So Charlie, who I normally do my podcast with, he's doing a spin-off podcast called The Unexplained Explained with Ben, and they talk basically about, like, mysteries, the mysterious, X-Files things, Bigfoot, you know, all those sort of, you know, use the plural of Bigfoot, big feet. They ask all the big questions.
Ah, yes. So what is it?
It's big footy eye, I think you'll find. Big feet.
I like that.
That sounds good. Got to have a listen to that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
There was also a photo of up on your gram or something, I think it might have been, of you and The Rock. Was that just recently?
Well, no, it wasn't.
Oh, no, the photo was taken a long time ago.
Yes.
Did you just put that up recently?
I put it up recently because The Rock wished me happy birthday for my 50th birthday.
What are you talking about? Just out of the blue.
The Rock,
just out of the blue.
The People's Champion.
The People's Champion.
He just out of the blue wished
the
it
most
to you. Was it?
electrifying force in sports and entertainment. Said happy 50th birthday.
The People's Elbow.
Will
Was it
Anderson.
a cameo situation? What was it?
No, hang on.
Was he prompted? So you're telling me... Sorry, I need to get it straight. You're telling me the Rock woke up... Wherever The Rock lives.
The Rock Johnson.
Yeah, woke up one day
from
and
the
then
3 hours sleep he has a night when he's not working out and making movies.
And then woke up and went, wait there, it's Will's birthday.
It's Will Anderson's birthday. The other people's champion. The other... the other most electrifying, the second most electrifying man in sports and entertainment.
Yes.
No.
The Pebble, Will the Pebble Anderson.
The Pebble.
I'm gonna lie. No, at my friend Adam Spencer
Yes.
for my 50th birthday.
Okay, good.
Put that photo up of Adam Spencer, myself, and The Rock. And
Yes.
he put it up for my 50th birthday, and he happened to tag in The Rock. And The Rock saw the tag in and wished me happy birthday. on
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Beautiful.
So if you're telling me, like, if you just tag in something to do with The Rock will possibly respond to you?
Well, he saw the photo. He knew he'd met them.
No,
The
I know
first
that.
photographic
I know that. But
evidence.
imagine how many people The Rock
Yeah.
have done. How many photos has The Rock been tagged into? Is he out there, like... Is he out there, like,
He's
messaging everyone
got
back?
people, hasn't he, Will, like you? You don't run your own
Well,
social
I
media,
mean,
right?
I imagine it's probably not The Rock, like himself doing it. But secondly, here's what I would also say. He probably responds to accounts that also have a high number of followers.
Oh, yes, okay. To crack into different markets. It's clever, yes.
What
yes,
did you
yes.
meet him for? The biggest thing, the person we've met, I'll
What?
speak on myself, but when us
was
three went,
Arnie.
Arnie,
Yeah.
that was just,
That was big.
That was huge.
Way shorter than what you'd ever
Yeah.
expect, Arnie.
What did you meet him for, Will?
Well, so he came out to Australia. It was the first time the WWE came out to Australia to do their big live event. You know, so obviously they do that quite regularly in Australia now, but this was the first time ever that they come out to do one in Australia, and The Rock was the headliner from the event. So he came in on the radio. We talked to him. I'd read his book, The Rock Says, which I think that might have actually...
I would have called it Between Me and a Hard Place.
I'm not sure that The Rock had read his whole book.
No.
So I think the fact that I had read his whole book put me at an advantage over him. But he was genuinely... Like, we interviewed him on the radio for about an hour, you know. I mean, because, of course, it was the home of rock, so it felt very nice. And when I went to the event, the WWE event, and when he was in the ring, the Rock waved at me. The Rock, who's also
The Rock's in there stirring up some trouble.
So funny, Will.
of a different people. The Rock.
Isn't that widening your market just quietly?
I'm going to do a cooking show, and it's going to be the home of Wok Sport.
Will the Wok Anderson.
Oh, Will, we love your work.
Thank you.
Go and see him on Friday night, everybody. Heaps of tickets available. Ticket Tech to see his show, Will Legitimate, at the Astor Theatre. Gruen tonight at 8:30 on the ABC and ABC iView.
I'm going to be catching my... I'm going to think of that giggling all day.
Yep. Will the Wok Anderson, thank you so much, mate.
you, Will.
It's always a pleasure.
Bye, Wocky.
Wokky's a whole different story. Thanks, Will.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.